Deep within the heart of the Eldergrove Mountains lay a network of caves, dark and labyrinthine, where the bravest of adventurers dared not tread. Among the villagers, there was a tale of a creature known as the Nightweaver, a mythical being that spun webs of darkness and preyed upon those who ventured into its subterranean domain after dusk. One stormy night, Emma found herself lost in the dense woods of Eldergrove. The path she had taken had vanished beneath a thick blanket of fog and rain, leaving her disoriented and desperate for shelter. As the storm grew fiercer, she stumbled upon the entrance to a cave, its mouth yawning open like the maw of some great beast. Seeking refuge, she stepped inside, her small flashlight casting trembling beams of light that seemed to be swallowed by the encroaching darkness. The deeper Emma ventured, the colder and damper the air became, filled with a musty scent of decay and something else, something metallic and cold. The walls of the cave seemed to close in around her, and the silence was broken only by the occasional drip of water echoing through the tunnels. Her breath came in shallow gasps, but she pressed on, hoping to find a dry place to wait out the storm. She came upon a vast cavern, the ceiling lost in darkness. At its center stood a colossal, ancient stalagmite, twisted and blackened as if scorched by fire. Her flashlight flickered and died, plunging her into complete darkness. Panic gripped her as she fumbled for her spare batteries, but her hands were shaking too much to manage. Then she heard it, a soft, insidious whispering that seemed to come from all around her. She turned in frantic circles, trying to pinpoint the source, but the whispers only grew louder, merging into a cacophony of sinister murmurs. From the corner of her eye, she saw movement, shadows creeping toward her, their forms indistinct but undeniably malevolent. Desperation clawed at her as she stumbled backward, only to trip and fall into a web of impossibly thick, sticky threads. The Nightweaver had found her. She struggled, but the more she fought, the tighter the web became, constricting her movements and draining her strength. From the darkness, the Nightweaver emerged. It was a grotesque, spider-like creature with a humanoid face twisted into a mask of pure malice. Its eyes were black voids, and its fangs dripped with a dark, viscous substance. The whispers grew louder, emanating from the creature itself, promising an eternity of torment. As the Nightweaver approached, it began to spin more threads, binding Emma tighter, its touch cold and lifeless. Her screams were muffled by the webbing, her vision blurring as the creature's venom seeped into her veins. The last thing she saw was the Nightweaver's face, leering at her with malevolent glee as it prepared to feast. Days later, a search party braved the cave, led by the villagers' growing fears. They found Emma in the vast cavern, her lifeless body ensnared in a monstrous web, her face frozen in a final, silent scream. The Nightweaver's dark threads were wound tightly around her, a grim testament to the creature's malevolent hunger. Emma's fate became another dark legend, a cautionary tale whispered among the villagers, and on moonless nights, the whispers of the Nightweaver could still be heard, weaving nightmares for those foolish enough to venture too close to the haunted depths of the Eldergrove caves.